I, 31 female, am afraid that my mom, 50s female, is going to embarrass my brother, 29 male, at work. Should I try to stop her, or am I overreacting? My mom is great in a lot of ways, but has a history of stomping on boundaries and having no sense of what is inappropriate, in my opinion. She just called me asking for help brainstorming birthday party ideas for my younger brother's upcoming 30th birthday. During the call, she mentioned that she wanted to go into his job and ask his boss for the names of a few of his coworkers that he likes to hang out with so that she can invite them without my brother knowing. She's really hung up on the idea of a surprise party. For context, my brother is a police officer attached to the large health network in the city where they live. I feel like my mom doing this could invite ridicule among his coworkers plus embarrassment that she went to his boss. Most people our age don't celebrate birthday parties, or do they? Am I overthinking in the first place? And I'm afraid he'd be angry with her if he found out. I tried to encourage her to keep the party in our family or ignore the surprise party element. I don't think my brother would care that much, but she got huffy with me. I tried to gently say that maybe she shouldn't go to his job too, but I have to tread on eggshells with her in a lot of our conversations because it's basically her way or the highway. And as I mentioned above, she doesn't ever seem to see things as inappropriate. I totally get that she is trying to do something really kind for my brother, and I told her that. But we've had a lot of incidents lately of her being a busybody, and maybe I'm just oversensitive. Would appreciate some outside perspective. Update. Thanks for the responses everyone. Glad to know I'm not overthinking this. I actually called my dad to explain the situation. He was unaware of my mum's plan. He's often the voice of reason in our family and he agreed to talk her out of it. Look, of course it isn't appropriate, but it really isn't going to embarrass your brother. Almost everyone has out of touch older relatives, and asking for her details to be passed on to them is pretty benign. Back before social media this was actually a very common way of doing things. I think you're overthinking this. They're going to roll their eyes, but that's all they're going to do. This is not in the same category as trying to throw him a surprise party at work or something. It's not something people will talk about forever. It might get told as a silly old fart story at the next coffee break, but that is as far as it's likely to go. Hi. My mom did this in a way and it flopped. She got my roommate to tell her some of my friends' names and made a surprise party. But it was just people who I didn't hang out with as a group for a reason. People who weren't friends anymore. And our third roommate who I barely know, who she also asked to buy a cake. It sucked. I had to apologize to everyone individually and ask them to block my mom on Facebook as she then kept trying to check up on me through them. Long story short, you and me maybe put up with invasive parents on ways we shouldn't, but it shouldn't be other people's problem at the very least. Warn him. Just do it right now. Pay the price with your mother for betraying her trust. If she can't use rational judgment or accept good advice, other people need to be protected from her poor choices as much as possible. You're not overreacting. What your mother has planned is 100% not appropriate. So warn him of what she has planned and let him choose to how to address it, if at all. When it comes to my parents' crazy plans and my siblings, I'm always on team sibling. It makes life way easier when your parents learn they can't play you against one another or expect you to let them cause harm to your brother or sister. Your mom will whine and rage, but she's unlikely to really cut you out. What she will learn from this is that her kids do compare notes and stand up for one another. Get off team mom. She hasn't earned your loyalty or your silence or your secrecy on this one. Get the hell on team adult brother who is allowed to be a damn grown up at work. Tell him. Yeah, no, this is ridiculous, and she is totally out of line. I seriously doubt that any police department would even hand over a list of officers and their contact information to some random woman who claims to be an officer's mother. for security purposes. I'm not a police officer, but I would be upset if I found out my boss gave out my personal information to someone who came in off the street to ask for it. Most of his coworkers are probably married with children and don't want to hide in the dark at a set time for a surprise party anyway. If she wants a surprise party, it should just be with family and close personal friends. And if she wants all his coworkers to be there, she should just have a set party and tell him in advance so he can invite coworkers himself. She can't have it both ways. Jesus, everyone in this thread being kind of harsh on your mom. If she has her heart set on a surprise party and it's something he might actually enjoy, I'd suggest that she look at his Facebook friends list, if he has a Facebook, and try to invite people he interacts with a lot on Facebook. Better would be if he has a close friend or roommate or partner who could tell you who he'd actually like to have invited to something like that. Your mom's intent is good. You could just gently tell her that a lot can go wrong with a surprise party, and it might not be the best way to celebrate the day. I don't know why I'm the odd man out here. My family always made a big deal out of the big zeros, like big parties. I honestly don't see this as stomping on boundaries, unless your brother has said this is something he wouldn't like. You said you didn't think your brother would care about having a surprise birthday party. Maybe it's something you wouldn't like, and you're putting how you would feel about this happening to you on your brother. You said she's not going to be asking for contact info for the other officers, but would give her contact info so that they could contact her. This is a completely acceptable way to try to get in touch with people you don't know. Hey, I'm Officer X's mom, and we are throwing him a surprise birthday party for his 30th birthday. I know he has friends here and would like to include them. Could you please pass on my phone number to them to invite them if they'd like to come? It gives them the option of refusal without actually refusing. I think you're overreacting here and putting how you would feel on your brother. If this is something that you truly think he would not like, then that's one thing, but honestly I think it's all completely socially acceptable. Maybe a different or unpopular opinion here, but I did something similar for my husband one year. He was settled at his job, but knew enough that I hadn't met any of his coworkers in person, which usually happens only at happy hour, lived a ways away, so I hadn't made one yet, or holiday time. However, I didn't call and ask for his boss to get names. That's just awkward and too far. All I did was inform the reception desk who I was, that his party would be at BWW at whatever o'clock, and anyone who cares to surprise him is welcome, but to please keep it on the down low. A few coworkers did show up to surprise him and buy him drinks. Sadly, his boss and coworkers took him out to lunch for his birthday earlier that day, before I called I guess, and got him drunk. Had to get him home after they had their fun challenging his manhood by drink. So at BWW he wasn't feeling all that great. He was surprised and happy to see people though. So there is a time/place/way things can sometimes be done. Maybe if he has a coworker friend you know, they can pass along a message to other coworkers. But yeah, your mom is overstepping if she calls to talk to his boss. He's not a 15-year-old working at McDonald's. A. Seems okay to me, i.e. a judgment call. B. More importantly, not my opinion that matters, it's your mom's judgment call. I'm not even sure why you're involved. I guess if your mom asked your opinion, or for your help, you're free to diplomatically say I wouldn't do that, or I can't, in good conscience, help, no need for a did post. If your mom is incapacitated, by all means, pull her driver's license and get her a trustee for financial matters. But then, doubly indulge her birthday fantasies. My understanding of biology is that day she did the heavy lifting, more so than your dad or brother. I suspect your brother is competent, independent, and well liked at his job. I trust he's not embarrassed that his mom still loves him, and if any of his colleagues mock him, they're just playful and a little jealous. Wait, when did birthday parties become a thing to fret about? Why are police officers exempt from this? Women throw surprise parties for their significant others all the time without knowing everyone, and in the give their number to someone to pass on to someone, so they contact you way. I just really don't see how mom is doing anything wrong by throwing a surprise party where she has people contact her to get the deets. Even if she has a history of pushing boundaries, it doesn't seem like your brother ever felt she did with the way you wrote the post. So maybe he likes the way his mother works but you don't. But just because you don't doesn't mean he doesn't either. If no one contacts her, it's no harm no foul. I've never known a cop to have issues with people celebrating their birthday with them. And when you join the force, you join a team. He might not like everyone on the team, sure, but that's why she's giving it to his boss to pass on to someone else. The teams support each other. I just can't, every which way I look at it, see the problem with your mother showing she cares by throwing a surprise party, unless your brother is 100% not into surprise parties and she's pushing boundaries by ignoring his. So maybe you should ask him his feelings on surprise parties. Sure, it might give it away a bit, but if he doesn't mind them, then I see no need to not let your mother do this for her kid. What I would give for anyone in my family to care that way. I think you're really overthinking this, and I'm totally baffled by the responses here. Firstly, 30 is a big birthday and there is no age too old for a surprise party. Secondly, I think it's kind of your mom to both host a party and be considerate enough to invite your brother's friends. If it's true that all she wants to do is stop by the police station and leave her contact information, then I really don't understand what you think is so embarrassing about that. Is it only because she's his mother? What if it were his spouse? Thanks for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe for more videos. See you all later.